Before we look back on the best of 2012, let's head to the newsroom for the latest headlines.
Hello from the 10 News Centre, making news this Boxing Day. 5 Aussie tourists have survived a passenger jet crash in Burma with only minor injuries. 3 locals were killed. Authorities say the pilot may have mistaken a road for a runway because of bad weather. The Christmas road toll continues to climb, with 2 people killed in a horrific single vehicle crash on the Hume Highway in southern New South Wales, while a father of 5 taxi driver died in Victoria after an out-of-control car collided with his cab. Thousands have lined up around the country for the traditional Boxing Day bargain hunt, despite many shops launching their stocktake sales early online this year. The #1 item, surprise, surprise, women's shoes. In sport, the Aussies have the upper hand on day 1 of the Boxing Day test, Sri Lanka struggling with the bat. Jackson Bird taking a wicket in his first ever test. The Sydney to Hobart fleet is off and racing. The forecast is for good sailing conditions that could see the race record nudged. Super Maxi's Wild Oats 11 and Ragamuffin Loyal likely to battle for line honours. And fancy a flower that smells like rotting meat? The so-called corpse flower is in full bloom at Melbourne's Royal Botanic Gardens, and hundreds are lining up to experience its putrid odour. But be quick, it'll fade in just 2 days. Time to get your tickets for that one. That is the latest from the 10 News Centre. I'll be back with more news later on in the project.
Time now, though, to cross to the 10 newsroom for the latest headlines.
If you've just joined us, here's what's making news today. An incredible escape for 5 Aussie tourists on board a Burmese passenger plane that crashed, killing 3 and injuring 11 others. The pilot allegedly mistook a road for the runway. Boxing Day sales defy the move to online shopping, with thousands turning out to grab a bargain, giving retailers reason to be optimistic heading into the new year.
I've been sent here on a mission and already done by 5:20, so very happy I can go home now.
We're a bit cashed up from Christmas, so yeah, just going to spend it all today.
A shock start to the Sydney to Hobart, with Super Maxi Wild Thing banned from the race for not filing paperwork. The rest of the fleet is making its way to Constitution Dock in what could be race record time. And the Aussies have made a great start to the Boxing Day test. Sri Lanka all out for 156 in front of more than 65,000 fans at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. For now, it's back to you.
Before we reflect on the biggest and best of 2012, let's head to the 10 newsroom for the latest headlines.
Hello from the 10 News Centre, making news this Thursday. Australian Warren Rodwell, who has been held by a militant Islamic group in the Philippines for more than a year, has appeared in a new video pleading for assistance, but he isn't expecting to be freed.
I personally hold no hope at all for being released.
Tears in court from relatives of a Melbourne man charged with the murder of his elderly grandparents. Police allege the 24-year-old killed the couple 3 days before Christmas, then set the house alight. Ross Connie Darwas was remanded in custody. He'll return to court in April next year. A shock for 2 Sydney pensioners after Molotov cocktails were thrown through the window of their home. Their daughter managed to douse the flames with a garden hose. The attack apparently the latest incident in an ongoing war about payment for a bicycle. To sport, and the Aussies are in control at the MCG, with captain Michael Clarke overcoming his hamstring injury to score a magnificent century. Australia finished the day 8 for 440. That's a lead of 284 over Sri Lanka. And the crew aboard Wild Oats 11 says conditions are perfect for the Sydney to Hobart fleet and thinks the race record could well be broken. Wild Oats is ahead of Ragamuffin Loyal. The Super Maxis are expected into Constitution Dock sometime tomorrow morning. That's the latest from the 10 News Centre. More later in the project. If you've just joined us, here's what's making news today. An Australian man being held hostage by militant Islamists in the Philippines says he's not sure if he will ever be freed. A video of the English teacher has been released.
I am alive. I am waiting to be released. I have no idea what's going on.
Police are investigating the discovery of a body at a secure psychiatric hospital in Melbourne. The death is being treated as suspicious, but no arrests have been made. Winter storms are causing havoc in America, with the country being hit by blizzards and tornadoes. 6 people have been killed and hundreds of homes damaged. To sport, and Michael Clarke has shrugged off his dodgy hamstring to score a century on day 2 of the Boxing Day test. And the Sydney to Hobart race record is under threat as the fleet approaches Tasmania. Wild Oats 11 still leads, with Ragamuffin not far behind in second. For now, it's back to you.
Let's cross to the 10 newsroom for the latest headlines.
Hello from the 10 News Centre, making news this Friday. 2Day FM radio hosts Mel Greig and Michael Christian are unlikely to face any charges over their prank phone call to a London hospital treating the Duchess of Cornwall. British police have submitted a file to prosecutors but haven't asked to speak to the pair. A dramatic day for residents of Tottenham in Melbourne's west, with streets locked down as police hunted a gunman. The man had been caught trying to steal copper piping from a factory when he was confronted by workers. He produced the weapon before fleeing. He remains on the run. The Aussies have wrapped up the Boxing Day test in less than 3 days. Sri Lanka had a disastrous few hours with the bat, only reaching 103 in its second innings. Australia has won the series with 1 test remaining in Sydney. Wild Oats 11 has taken out line honours in the Sydney to Hobart for the 6th time and smashed its own race record in the process. The Mark Richards skippered Super Maxi took 1 day, 18 hours, 23 minutes and 12 seconds to reach Constitution Dock. Ragamuffin Loyal came in second. And finally, an 82-year-old American man is on the hunt for a wife and he's wearing his heart on a sign. Sandy McCulloch is looking for a woman over the age of 60 who likes books. The lucky lady, believe it or not, will be wife number 4 for Sandy. Best of luck to him. That's the latest from the 10 News Centre. More later in the show. If you've just joined us, here's what's making news today. Malcolm Turnbull has given the media and pollies a blast for dumbing down complex issues with one-line soundbites. The former Liberal leader says it's now a 60-minute news cycle and voters are being treated with contempt.
It has never been easier to get away with telling lies. It has never been easier to get away with the glib one-liner.
A slice of Aussie music history has been destroyed in Brisbane, a property once home to the Bee Gees gutted by fire. The Gibb brothers lived there just before they shot to stardom. The Aussie bowlers have demolished Sri Lanka's batting attack to win the Boxing Day test. The visitors could only make 103. Australia has won the series 2-0. And Wild Oats 11 has beaten its own Sydney to Hobart race record by 17 minutes, winning line honours for the 6th time. A lot of rum being drunk in Hobart tonight. That's your Friday news hit. Back to you.